Hello learners, you are welcome. I am your facilitator, Sarah Cranton, and I'll be taking you through class 5 maths on the topic numbers. Numbers, and this is our first lesson on numbers. So let's go through our objectives for today. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to model numbers in millions using multi-base materials and token currency. You should be able to model numbers in millions using multi-base materials and token currency. Before we begin, I want to show you the multi-base material that we'll be using. We have them here, and this is called the Danes multi-base materials. And with a material, each one has a name. We have this. This is the units. We have the flat, the rod. We have the flats and the block. So this is the units, the rod, the flats, and the block. So with the units, which is this one, the value is 1,000. The unit has a value of 1,000. With basic 5, our unit will be 1,000. So if a unit is 1,000 and 10 of the units will give us a rod, now what is the value of the rod? This rod, what is the value? If a unit is 1,000 and 10 of the units will give us a rod, then the value of the long will be 10,000. I hope you are with me. The unit is 1,000. 10 of the units will give us the long or the rod. I'll be using the terms interchangeably. So it's either long or rod. Unit is 1,000. 10 of the units will give us a long. So the value of the long is 10,000. And with the flats, 10 of this long or the rod will give us a flat. So if a long is 10,000, now what will be the value of the flats? The value of this flats. So 10 of the long. So the flats will be 100,000. 100,000. So that is the value of the flats. The value of the flats. Now let's move on to that of the block. I have the block here. And 10 of this will give us a block. If a flat is 100,000 and 10 of the flats will give us a block, what is the value of this block? The value of this block will be 1 million. And I hope you are following. So let's go through what we have done so far. A unit is 1,000, long is 10,000, flat is 100,000, and a block is 1 million. Good. Now let's do something here. 10 of the units. 10 units will make a long. 1 long. 10 of the units make 1 long. And 10 of the longs make 1 flat. Ten of the longs make 1 flat. If 10 of the longs make 1 flat, then 10 of the flats I hope you can see it. 10 units make 1 long, 10 longs make 1 flat, and 10 flats make 1 block. I hope you have gotten the concept. Very good. And with this unit, as our objectives, we say we are going to model numbers in millions using the multi-base material. And we have the unit to be this. In modeling, we can represent the unit as this. Our units can be this. Our long, which is this one, we can represent it as this. And the flats, which is this, we can represent the flat as this. And our block, we can do it or represent it as without showing all the markings. When we do that, I don't want you to go through stress when you are modeling the numbers. So the units, we can do it this way. The long, we can draw it this way. The flat can be this. And the block, we can represent it as this. Very good. I have a question here. Use the multi-base materials to model the following numbers. Use the multi-base materials to model the following numbers. And we have 241,000. 241,000. With this number, how are we going to model it using the multi-base materials? Remember, a unit is 1,000, a rod is 10,000, flat is 100,000, and a block is 1 million. So look at this number. How are we going to model it? I want us to do this. When you look here, we have 241,000. It means we're going to have 2 of the flats. Can you see that? 2 of the flats, 4 of the rods, and 1 of the units. 2 of the flats, 4 of the rods, and 1 of the units. So I want us to do it here. So I'll draw my flats. Plus 4 of the rods. Let's count and see if there are 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Plus 1 of the units. So our units will be like this. So let's go through our work. 241,000. We want to model it. Look at something over here. How many flats do we have? It's only 1. So we need to add another 1 to it so that our flats will be 2. So we have 2 of the flats plus 4 of the rods and a unit. Very good. So 2 of the flats will give us, you know, a flat is 100,000. So 2 will give us 200,000 over here, plus 4 of the flats, and a flat, 4 of the rods, and a rod is 10,000. So 4 will give us 40,000 plus 1 unit, and the unit is 1,000. So 200,000 plus 40,000 plus 1,000 will give us, when we add, we will get 241,000. We have modeled the first number, which is 241,000. My dear learners, I have another one here. Our second question. It is 32,000. 32,000. How many rods? How many units? How many rods and how many units? We have 32,000. So with this, we will have 3 rods and 2 units. 3 rods and 2 units. I hope you are following me. 32,000. 3 of the rods plus 2 units. What is the value? A rod is? Very good. So we have 3 rods, which is 30,000, and then 2 units, which is 2,000. We have modeled this number. Let's move on to the next question. With this, the number is huge. So I hope we can do it. 4,357,000. 4,357,000. We have moved to the million. And remember, a block is 1 million. So with this, we're going to have 4 of the blocks. So we will draw. We have our 4 million. How many blocks? 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, 1 is 1 million, so 4 is 4 million. So the next one will be the flats. How many flats? 3 flats. plus, I'm continuing, it's here, 5 of the rods. Is it up to 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very good. And the last one, which is the units, 7 of the units. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the last one, 7. We have modeled this number. Let's look at this one. 112,000. 112,000. 112,000. This time, let's write the number of flats, long, or units that we will have. So with this, we're going to have 1 flat, 1 flat. I am writing it this way. In your book, try and draw it for me. So 1 flat plus how many longs? 1 long plus how many units? 2. 2 units. We are done. So you draw a flat, a long, and 2 of the units, and you are done. I have another question. What will this make? What will these make? I have 5 blocks, 2 flats, 3 longs, and 4 units. Going back to the value of the materials, we know a unit is 1,000, a long is 10,000, a flat is 100,000, and a block is 1 million. So we have 5 blocks. So what will be the value of 5 blocks? It's going to be 5 million. Plus 2 flats. And 2 flats will give us 200,000. Plus 3 longs. A long is 10,000. So we're going to have 30,000. Plus 4 units, which is 4,000. When we sum up all these numbers, we're going to have 5,234,000 So this is the value of what we have here. 5 blocks, 2 flats, 3 longs, and 4 units. 5,234,000. Let's look at the next question. 3 flats, 1 long, and 3 flats, 1 long, and 6 units. 3 flats, 1 long, and 6 units. So 3 of the flats will give us 300,000. Plus 1 long is 10,000. Plus 6 units. So 1,000 times 6 will give us 6,000. When we sum up, we're going to have 316,000. 316,000. I hope you are following. Good. Now let's move on to our next set of questions. Remember, in our objective, we said we're going to model numbers in millions using multi-base materials and then token currency. So I have a question over here. Treasure paid 560 worth of items to a shopkeeper. Model the amount paid using 100 cedis notes and then 20 cedis notes. Treasure paid 560 worth of items to a shopkeeper. Model the amount paid using 100 cedis notes and then 20 cedis notes. Learners, I have my notes over here. Let's assume this is my 100 cedis notes and this is my 20 cedis notes. I have them over here. Now let's go back to the question. The person paid 560 worth of items to a shopkeeper. Model the amount paid using 100 cedis notes and then 20 cedis notes. Look at the amount here, 500 and then 60 cedis. How many of the 100 cedis notes will you give to the shopkeeper? And then how many of the 20 cedis notes will you add? When we look here, we have 500. So when we use the 100 cedis notes, we can have 5 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's assume this is the 100 cedis note. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. So the 5 will give us 500. So you have 5 of the 100 cedis notes. So we have gotten 500. Now we are left with a 60. So let's move to the 20 cedis. How many of the 20 cedis will give us 60 cedis? How many? So with the 20 cedis notes, we're going to have 3 of them. So 1, 2, and then 3. So 3 of the 20 cedis notes will give us 60 cedis. So we will have 5 of the 100 cedis notes and 3 and we are done. So when you put together, 5 will give us 500 plus 3 of the 200 cedis notes will give us 60. So when we add 500 to 60, we will get 560. And that will be the amount treasury paid to the shopkeeper. Very good. Now that we have come to the end of today's lesson, I want you to practice this at home for me. Model the following numbers using multi-base materials. And I hope you know the value, the key to the materials. A unit is 1,000, a rod is 10,000, a flat is 100,000, and a block is 1 million. Don't forget, learners. So you are going to model these numbers for me using multi-base materials. Quickly copy them into your books. I want you to practice at home and see if you'll be able to do it. And I know and believe in you that you will be able to do it. All right. I hope you have learned something today. We have learned how to model numbers using the multi-base materials and token currency. Until I come your way next time, have the best of the day.